before we go on to the 25th year, productions.
Right, yeah.
Many moons ago, I understand you were in a band, group.
Well,
yeah.
Around about 1996. Funnily enough, I like the piano from Alice in Limerick, Where Love Lives, and I met with these guys, and they said, "What do you want to come work with the studio, make a tune?" So we went in there and we did this really quite rough production together, and we'd sampled the piano from that, which is a Frankie Knuckles piano. I found out later on, I didn't know who'd done it at the time, and we put it into this tune, and we sent this rough edit off to this guy in London that they knew, who was this more executive producer called Jamie White, and he said, right, okay, well, I like that. Come down to my studio in London. We'll remaster it, re-edit it, and whatever. And we went down, did that. And
how long did that take? A day or two, or
no? It was over a period of time, because it was like making sure it was home. But we went down to his studios. Oh, here's a story. Right, I'm sorry, I'll get on to my story. While we're making Hot and Wet, okay, as it became known in the end, met this guy and his then girlfriend in the other end of the corridor to where he was living, making this track called Beautiful. And it turned out it was Matt Derry and Marcella Woods. And I met her way back in 1996. Wow. And they were doing this thing at the other end, and it was all sounded very space agey to me. And it was all sort of like, but that was the early trance of Liberation.
Yeah.
So that they were making that way back in that time. So we did this track anyway, and we then went out to Logic Records in London, and we got it signed. And Logic hadn't taken a dance band on. They had that band called Sparks. Remember Sparks from the 80s? Little guy with a moustache like that used to play the keyboard. Do you remember? Okay, well, everybody remembers Sparks, you'll know. And they was their biggest hit. So there was a German Logic label. Logic was a German label. So we never had a big hit as this. So for a while. So anyway, we put all the testers promos out and everything, and we got Graham Park was playing it. It was got people all over the country playing the promo releases of it, and released it, and it went to number 36 in the top 40.
So you've had a top 40 record?
Yeah, I have. I've got the top 40 chart countdown.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So
but then, of course, that would have been a lot of units.
Yeah, it
that
was.
Would have been a lot of units to shift.
And I didn't earn a penny from it.
Seriously?
No. Well, what happened was they said, like, "Yo, this is going to be the biggest hit that Logic's had for a while." We went to their premises, and they got these pictures of this guy Sparks with his little moustache on the wall, looking at us, really weird. Right. So and they said, "Well, do you want to make a video for it?" And we're like, "Yeah, okay." So like a video, so felt like a pop star for the day. We went. We went to London, and then they picked us up in this stretch limo. There was like just 5 of us all together, and we all went to this warehouse where they'd got all the filming set up with like a train, like with a camera that goes round and all this, that, the other. And by this time we'd done some bits with like the vocals, so it was Hot and Wet, and which was a snippet from Hot Like the Sun and Wet Like the Rain, and we put it all together. We went to this studio, this warehouse. I filmed it, and they said, "Oh, do you want to go in the video?" I said, "Oh, what do you have to do?" He said, "Well, there's this wet scene where you have to take your shirt off, and we'll pour water all over you, and you can dance underneath the water like that." And I'm like, "No, thank you. I don't think I want to do that. So my great big hit, I didn't go in the video. All the other lads all went in the video, and my thing didn't go in it at all. So anyway, we didn't find out until we were thinking, "Oh yeah, we've got a top 40 hit. Where's all the royalties gone?" We found out 6 months later, all the money for the video, I think it was £19,000 at the time or something, came out of our royalties before we get anything at all.
No way.
So I didn't get absolutely virtually anything from that.
What an experience, though.
Oh, it was fantastic. Really enjoyed that.
So then after that, production-wise, moving on, I guess, was it Good God and Sound of Blue?
Yeah, Good God, and I got invited by one of the guys who ran FFRR and was starting off another break-off label to come down and to make some tracks. He said, "Look, come on," he begged me to come down and work with this producer in London, and I went to the studios in North London where the record label Spot On and Y2K was on. Yeah, so and they had a whole host of different labels, and I met this guy called Harry Love, and we went in there, went down. I think we went out on a Friday. Come out 24 hours later with Good God, completely mastered, finished, everything.
Wow,
and
that's some going.
It was, but
Did you have an idea though?
So, well, you know, I knew I'd been around some of the record making process with the other guys, so I knew it could be a long sort of process. And
no, I mean that was not the process, the concept of the actual record. Did you have ideas in your head?
Yeah,
I want.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was completely driven and focused at the time. I'm probably a lot more confused now with what I actually want to produce. But back then, at the time, I knew how I wanted to sound, and when I come away with it, I actually didn't like it. I thought it was too hard. Yeah, good God. Thought it was too hard. I thought it was too hard. The record label loved it. Absolutely loved it. They thought it was brilliant. I thought it was too hard, too tough. But since then, I've spoken to other people. You know, there's some very famous names who are now producing today, who said at that time what I was producing, they're now trying to recopy and redo it. So, you know, it's come full circle about how you do stuff. But at that time, I thought it was too hard. Yeah. But it went into some of the stuff on. There used to be a magazine, like a Buzz magazine, right, with a, and if you got into that, your record was going to be a hit. When it went to number 1 in the Buzz chart, for Mixmag Buzz chart, yeah, it was a paper one with all the releases in. Went into there, got into reviewed in Mixmag everywhere, and you know, it was incredible. So that went into the low 40s at the time as well for a hard dance track as well. But you got to remember, people like Ferry and all of them around that time were all putting Goriella in the charts and all. You know, they all had big mega hits. And this is where
a lot of dance music, like with Dave Pearce, was on Radio 1 frequently, like Drive Time and Sundays and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Judge Jules on a Friday night. Yeah. And Pete Tong.
Well, Pete Tong was the Friday and George was the Saturday.
That's right, yeah.
So you know, there was a lot of exposure to
the glory days, really.
Yeah. It's a shame, really, that stopped. I think. I think that'd be good to have it out. I mean, you know, House is there and House is massive in techno, but it'd be good to have more exposure.
But do you know when you listen to Pete Tong on the radio though? It's like putting on an old pair of gloves that fits, you know, and he just knows when to say the right thing at the right time. He's genius.
Yeah. So what do you digressing? Like, what do you think to Annie Mac in comparison? Do you think really good?
She's fantastic for today's music, and she's brought her own twist to it. I think being female on there as well has added a real good twist to it. I mean, she's really good at what she does.
So you're modern. So you had Good God, Sound of Blue.
Whiplash was number the second one.
Yeah. Beg your pardon.
Yeah.
And again, was that with the same producer?
Yeah, with Harry Love. Yeah.
Okay. And what gave you the idea of that concept as a record?
That was just completely off the cuff. Yeah. I think the remixes were actually better than the original on that, but there you go. So I think they got more plays than I did, so than mine did. And then the Sound of Blue, which Tony McGuinness told me on Friday night that he's had bought a copy of from Above and Beyond.
Really?
He said, I've got that record.
Sound of Blue.
Yeah, he made it into a coffee cup apparently.
Wow. Okay, so out of all your productions, you've done a few. Best one?
I still don't think I've done a good one. If I'm really honest. Okay, yes, they've been popular.
Yeah, but you must have been proud of them. At the end of the day, you made it, produced it.
There was a remix I did with Harry Love, which I thought was the best piece of music we'd done because it had a lovely piano in it and stuff. So, but you know, once Harry, this is how good my relationship was with Harry Love. I thought he was brilliant, by the way. Now I could have worked with him forever because I think we moved on. We really got connected. Doesn't produce anymore, so maybe I turned him off music. I think he's a music teacher or a teacher somewhere in Wales, but I really connected with him. I did some other stuff with Dave Parkinson, and we did like Revolution 9, JFK vs Revolution 9. We did a few bits with that. Still don't think that was my best work. I did some other tracks, Sins and Angel and whatever. Still think I'm searching for something that I want to.
Have you still got that bug then? Because you're a busy man. You know.
Yeah, I mean, life's sort of taken over a bit more now, you know, and obviously the business, other business side of stuff is come into it. But yeah, I'm still desperate to try and find something that I really.
Do you think that's
like.
missing then?
Yes, I do.
So because I'm doing that, I'm going back into learning production almost. So I've worked, like, you know, with Gen X and whatever, but they've been the producer
Yeah.
or the engineer. I've sat
Yeah.
there and gone, like, this, and this.
Yeah, yeah.
Haven't got the experience of the actual physical door.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, learning that process. Having the musical background is fine,
Yeah.
but then translating that onto a system to then get an end product.
Yeah,
That's, and
exactly.
I want to be able to do a track that's 100% me.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
not
then
the
when you've done
mastering
that,
side.
then
Yeah.
you have to go to somebody to get it
Mastered
mixed down
and
and this,
yeah.
that, and the other, and perhaps a final tweaking and this, that, the other. So yeah, you want to do it all
I don't
along
think I
the
do it
way.
all. I just want to do it, or I just want to make the track,
Yeah.
so it can be mastered by someone else. But just go, you know what? That's my own work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not an
yeah.
engineer,
No.
me.
Yeah,
And I'll
because
always have that.
something will always get in the way, and you always think, yes, you think when you're working alongside and co-writing with somebody, yes, you think that's actually the right way, but there's always something not quite 100% you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that. So for people that are watching or listening, however, is that something that you're going to pursue? But
Yes,
more as
when
a
I
just
get
in your own time.
when I get time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the promotion takes up so much time. And I think there was a point where I actually went on some production courses, but because I didn't have the time to pursue it, you've got to have a lot of time to actually be dedicated enough to do it. That I had to continue down the promotion and marketing route, which obviously we do, because that takes up so much of your time, because we're quite a small outfit really what we actually do, but we'll see what happens where they go.